Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Agent here from Agent Mateo Drones. Coming live to you guys all the way from the Adrian Mateo Drones. Uh oh my god, I forgot the name of it. Layer, whatever. Man cave. There you go, that's the word. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I'm about to go ahead and let my co-host, Mr. Dre, Recovery One Drone, bring himself into the show whenever he ready. Look at he taking a drink. There he goes. How you doing, buddy?
What up? What up? What up, everyone? Glad to be here tonight.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a great show. We're gonna stay on for approximately an hour and a half, 2 hours, something of that nature. Let's go ahead and talk. We have a lot to talk about, especially when it comes to the DJI Mavic 3 lineup and the smart controller. I'm not the only one that having that problem. I actually know quite a few people having the same issue, including the DJI Air 2S for the smart controller. I heard the same thing as well. So we do have Mr. Al Diaz in the background, Mr. Time to Fly on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please go ahead and subscribe to him. He got great content, and he just got the DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise and the thermal. He got them both because he got money like that. He in California, so he make big bucks. So Joe, whenever you're ready to bring him in, you can go ahead and do so. I will bring him in myself. But I'm
I got
welcoming
it.
everybody in the background. I mean, on the chat.
What's
What's
up,
going
guys?
on?
How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Hello,
How good
hello,
to you,
hello.
Mr. Teach, Giggles and Drones? We have Mr. One Vision Ariel. We got Susan Lee, Leonard JSK Enterprise. We got Mr. Nappy FPV. Who else do we have here? Don't let me miss nobody else. We got Mr. Scott Jackrabbit FPV, Yellow Rose Drones, Paul Wedgenbig. Ken plays it here. And that's who we all have so far. Hope everybody's doing great. Was that you, Dre, that made that noise?
Yeah. I was checking my phone.
Okay. So, Dre, how was your day going, sir?
Today was start
Was it
off
very
on a,
productive?
oh yeah, always productive. Like you say, you run into some hiccups that just test you and your abilities to work through things. I got out to my first site this morning, no problems, went through smooth. Got to the second site, and I say you and I were on the phone talking, and all of a sudden I go back to put my second battery in on the second project, and everything freezes. You know, the drone,
And when you said that, that actually had me a little concerned because I was wondering, like, damn, I was hoping that the drone these started flying away from you. You know what I mean?
no,
It was
no,
going to crash on
no,
you.
no. The drone had landed. I'm putting the next battery in. I'm reloading the mission, getting everything to go, and it wouldn't take off. Wouldn't arm, wouldn't do nothing. So at that point, you start going through your procedures, start backtracking and checking everything. So just to cut this down, everything after I checked everything initially, I even broke out my other drone.
Yeah.
Okay, put it on the ground. Like I said, I always carry a backup and booted up the software, and it wouldn't even fly. It wouldn't arm. So what had happened initially, the first drone, I had a battery with a bad cell. One of
Oh,
those bad.
damn.
That's what happened. Now, because of that battery had a bad cell, it corrupted the drone deploy software.
No
So now
shit.
it corrupted the software I was using. So eventually, what happened is I had to shut everything off, reboot everything. Another battery in, reboot the log out of the drone deploy, relog it back in, everything else. But then I had to restart the whole mission already. I was already one battery in. I already had 170 pictures in, and I had to go back and reshoot those first 170 pictures and stuff and continue the mission. That mission was a total of 554 pictures. So
So
I had to
did you
go
have
back and start over.
did you have to reinstall the program all over again?
Didn't have to reinstall it, but I had to log out and then re-log back in the software. and
Okay.
stuff, which means the mission had to go back to square one.
So
Like
were you? Were you, I didn't even know what's going on, Dre. Were you
well,
flying the mission, or
yeah, I was
did you
there
get off the
flying.
ground?
Oh, like I said, once I redid everything, I got off the ground. But what happened was I went there, first battery, 170 something pitches down, boom, come back, put the second battery in, and then nothing. It wouldn't arm the drone. Come to find out, the second battery had a bad cell in it, and because of that bad cell, it corrupted my login in drone deploy. So that's why I'm going through all the steps, break out my second drone. I was already logged in drone deploy, so I'm just like, okay, let's just switch over this and that. Still wouldn't fly. I'm saying, okay, two different drones, two different controllers, and it won't fly. And then it finally dawned on me to log out of drone deploy and re-log back in, and then
And
everything
that
worked.
worked. Wow.
Everything worked, dude. I wasted about, other than the first 20 minutes of first battery, I spent another, I would say 40 minutes to an hour trying to figure out what went wrong. So I ended up being on that job almost 2.5 hours,
Let
because of the downtime.
me go ahead and welcome Mr. Ken. Place it here.
Or at least you figured it out.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of the things you go through.
I had some issues with drone deploy months ago where I couldn't get established GPS and it would not take off. No
Mm-hmm.
matter where I move it, no matter if I compass calibrate, I even performed an IMU calibration out in the field, and there was an
Right.
apartment complex I was supposed to map, and I couldn't get it off. I couldn't get even launched. Couldn't
Yeah.
get
If
the
you
other
don't
one launched too.
if you don't have
So
those if you don't have those at least
done
10 or
chocho.
11 satellites, drone deploy won't let you launch.
Yeah, it was crazy. It wouldn't get past like 8 of them. I was
Yeah.
We
so
got a
mad.
couple of people here in the chat. Let me welcome Mr. Michaels, Drones on RCs, Mika Steve, James Droning. Did I miss anybody else?
You
Let's
missed.
see.
I seen somebody here. AZ drone dude,
AZ
Michael
Drone
Jones on
Dude, how you
RC.
doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in, sir. Really
Wedging
appreciate it.
big, Mr. Patriots fan.
Yes, I did want to hit and say hi to Paul Wedging Big.
And it's kind of funny that you said that, Al, about the satellite, because I did another short thing today on YouTube about your telemetry, and I was showing an example about be careful, pay attention to how many sats you got, pay attention to how your signal strength with your connection with your RC, and also even with your heads-up display, because unlike the old Mavic Pro and Mavic 2 Pro controllers, all the other controllers we have don't show telemetry without that screen. Remember those old controllers still showed you all your telemetry, a little small, little 1 inch by 3 inch screen on the Mavic Pro and the 2 Pro when it first came out. Now that we got all these smart controllers and all these displays that we use, once you lose screen, you're blind. You're completely blind. And the whole premise was I was trying to give folks to say, pay attention to what your telemetry is telling you. So basically, be a better flyer. Don't do too many risky maneuvers. Don't outfly the drone to where you lose RC connection, where you lose. And I say same thing. If you don't have enough satellites, don't launch. And somebody jumped on there and was saying, "No, you're wrong. It's more pilot behavior." I said, "But that's what I'm talking about. If you're doing risky behavior, it's going to affect your telemetry to where you're going to lose RC connection. You're going to lose your picture with what the drone is seeing, all your telemetry on it, and you possibly don't take off unless you have sufficient enough satellites." And that's why I tell people all the time. I said, you need to have at least 10 or 11. My rule is 11. I don't take off unless I have 11 or more. Other than that, I don't fool with it, because even if you go up at 10 or 9 sats, manually, yes, you can fire the bird up and go from there. But you run the risk of you lose another satellite, you might lose GPS altogether. And that's why I say you put yourself and you put the drone at risk of in a flyaway situation, especially if you get
Hey
behind
guys,
a building or some trees.
hey guys, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up on the stream. I really appreciate it.
So,
So, hey, Mr. Gary Brown area, how you doing, bro? Thank you for popping in.
hey, Gary.
So,
Yes,
when it comes to your DJI Mavic 3 Solar, the situation you were explaining to me about the remote ID error, and I also went through that as well. Do you mind going through about the issue that you were having?
Was at a shoot at the convention center. Was trying to take off on one side of the convention center. I thought I had it tethered to my cell phone, which I always do every time I launch the drone. It's just a habit. I just do it all the time, and because I have air data, and if you want your flight to sync up with the location stuff like that, you got to have some type of Wi-Fi connection before you take off. But anyway, tried to take off, which I was able to fire up the engines initializing, and then I got the remote error on the controller, and I couldn't go over a certain amount of feet. It was weird. It was in and out, and I thought it was just me, but apparently other people have been going through it.
And the reason why I asked Aldia, because I started having that problem as well. Before I never had it. But then after DJI went ahead and did that new software update that had, the night mode and all the other BS, I started noticing a little difference on the remote. But that remote ID error, I just started doing it recently, where I was literally having the issue that you're having or you were having before. But when it says that my remote is not connected to the Wi-Fi or my hotspot on my phone, I won't even able to arm the motors.
I'm curious if anybody in the chat has gone.
And I put out a short on some information, and people keep telling me that I'm not the only one having it. Some other people are having it as well, including with the Air 2S and the DJI RC Pro. What that means, I don't know, because I don't hear nothing from DJI about that problem. I don't hear nothing.
I didn't experience it till I uploaded the new firmware. I don't know exactly what firmware number it was.
And the only thing I could think about is pretty much that have to do with remote ID, Aldias. I mean, I don't think that DJI already have that active because it doesn't come active until what, 2023, I believe. Am I right, Dre?
Yeah, you're correct.
Now, is it January 2023 or is it later after that?
Later. No, it's later. Later. Much later. September is the initial date. I believe it is September 2023 is the initial date.
And have you heard anybody coming out with any kind of module for the other drones?
I've only seen one module that's been reviewed.
Ken Heron.
Yeah, I think it was Ken Heron. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just know him and somebody else reviewed the same module. I think it's almost like a couple $100 at this point.
Thank you, not PSPV.
And so, I mean, I can say whoever's first to the table is going to charge what they want. I think once the competition comes out, the pricing of it will come down tremendously unless everybody's trying to rip us all off on the same plane and go from there. But all we can say, time will tell, and we'll find out which drones actually are remote ID compatible. Like I said, DJI has gone through a lot of their drones from far back as the Phantoms all the way up to the latest ones, and at least has put the software in place. And that's why I think you guys are having the issue you're having, that there must have been a bug in the latest update to put the remote ID on the Mavic 3. And so now it's looking for you guys to make sure what we thought it was going to be a year ago, that you're going to have some type of internet connection. I think that's what that software is looking for. And that's why you're getting that warning signal on the screen talking about remote ID. But I think it's just a bug because that was in the final draft of the remote ID paperwork. It did not state that you would need to be tethered or at least can have a hotspot on your person or whatever. So I'm not sure what's going to work, how it's going to work per se. But that was the original intent, that you would need to have a Wi-Fi hotspot with you at all times to go fly. So I know that will cause a lot of heartache for those who live out in the boonies and other locations who don't have consistent Wi-Fi in their area. So basically, if you don't live in a pretty much a urban environment, or just be lucky enough to live close enough to a couple of cell towers, you could be out of luck if this is going to be how it works. Because
Exactly.
like we were told that was not going to be the way it works after the last revision of remote ID. But what you guys are experiencing, that theory still holds true. Then, like Al said, once he connects it to his phone, that message goes away, and the drone actually activates. Because you're saying,
And
Al, that
that
it would even arm.
it did arm, but
It did
when I
arm.
took off, it just wouldn't go any higher than if you would auto
About,
take off and it hovers, it
yeah,
didn't go.
about no more than 6 feet or so.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
definitely unusual.
yeah,
Big
yeah.
flying thing.
Well, we have
But I've
to.
not experienced that on my two enterprise drones. I have not experienced that. And Dre, I
Yeah.
don't know if you're experienced on the M30T.
Oh
Um,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
no,
now,
no. I haven't experienced
now,
nothing in
Diaz,
32.
could it be that the two enterprise drones are pretty much better equipped with new software that's not what I mean, having any kind of issue
Yeah.
like the original Mavic 3? That's
Well,
what
like
I'm
I said,
thinking.
yeah. Well, I say the software is different because of the operating system. I said the enterprise drones are all using the Pilot 2 app. Okay.
Because if
So
I'm not mistaken, the two enterprise are under the Pilot 2 app, right?
right. That's
Diaz?
what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. All the enterprise drones run off the Pilot app. Either like my Enterprise Advanced uses the original Pilot app, and then my M30T uses that's the newer version, Pilot app 2. So yeah, that's how that's working on that. So yeah, it's a whole different. Like I say, it's a whole different, but there's different. I would say some things in the OS is different. Because I
I know
think
this.
the original Maverick 3 runs off the Fly app, right?
Yes, the fly out.
Yeah,
But
the
I know
fly
this
app.
on the enterprise, you're able to go farther in altitude than you are on the consumer drones. I've noticed that like my altitude limit my enterprise drones are like 4,925 feet, which I
Yeah.
found shocking. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. And
so
well,
it's definitely different.
basically, with the difference I've seen that it will, yeah, you have a higher altitude ceiling, you still get the little messages that say warning you're approaching 120
Yeah,
meters.
it's like the
You know,
Autel drones. They still give you
right,
that pop up warning.
right. Gives you the warning you're approaching 120 meters, fly safely, or authorization, or whatever the case may be, and go from there. It's not going to just automatically just say stop, can't go any further. Like the
All
older
right, guys.
drones.
Let me
Yeah.
welcome several people here. We got Mr. John Flying Flame Media. We got Chris NB Drones, and we also have Mr. Barry from New England Journalist. Thank you for popping in. We have Mr. Johnny Drone Flyer. He said he's listening. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So basically, Al Diaz and Dre, the Pilot app 2 seems to be the most updated software out there when it comes to the DJI drones. Then,
Yeah, yeah, and that's what it's supposed to be because it's the enterprise. I mean, the enterprise drones are usually used by commercial pilots, first responders, and so forth. So they do not want to, DJI or any other company does not want your top of the line drones to be, I say, dragged down by software issues. They want to make sure they're putting their best foot forward. And that's why, you get a difference in performance and a difference in, like Al was saying, difference in how your elevation. Because I know if you're not paying attention when I'm flying my enterprise drones, yeah, I'll fly right past 400 feet in a heartbeat if I'm not paying attention to my telemetry. And say,
I do
hold
that.
on.
I do that in certain grid areas when I'm flying in it. You have a 200-foot ceiling, you get approval for 200 feet. I look down
Hmm.
and I realize I'm like 10 feet over. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. And that's why I tell people I was saying today is, earlier, I want a little quick post I put out about, looking at your telemetry. I mean, it takes no more than about 2 seconds to check your screen and look at your telemetry and not just be focused on the picture that's on the screen. Look at your telemetry, know where you're at, know what your altitude is, know how far out you are. So like you're saying, Al, you guys on the enterprise drones and stuff, and like you and myself, and when you go on these big projects, it is nothing for me to be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 feet away on one of my jobs. And that's why I say it's very critical for me to pay attention to my telemetry and my connections and satellites and stuff, because that drone decides to do something, funky, it's gonna be gone. And like I said, it's not like it's just 200 feet away and I'm gonna go run over there and pick it up. It's gonna be gone, and I'll be very lucky to find it ever again. And that's
Let
why
me
I talk about flying with strobes on and stuff. That's it. That might be the one thing that has helped you find your drone, and it's helped me. I had a drone go down because of a TFR. Same thing. The first battery flew fine. Pop the second battery in. All of a sudden, the drone recognizes the TFR, and it
let
went
me
to
go.
force. It went to forced landing, and I'm about 5,000 feet out.
Let me welcome Mr. Mark R. White. Thank you for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate the support. Dre, can you elaborate a little bit on what Mark R. White is saying? If we talk basically the same thing what you just said when it comes to the height and the telemetry, right?
I always tell people you overthink
120
this.
meters is what
400
398
feet,
feet,
120 meters, 400 feet.
400 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Wherever you took off from, whatever your takeoff point is, that is ground zero. Okay. Doesn't matter if top of the hill, bottom of the hill, wherever you launch that drone from, that is ground zero at that point. So if the drone is at the top of the hill and you're at the bottom of the hill, the drone has a higher ceiling than where you're standing. And vice versa. If you're at the top of the hill and the drone is at the bottom of the hill and you launch it, 0 point is where that drone took off from. It's nothing fancy. It's not trigonometry. It's just basics. Wherever the drone starts off at, that is ground zero. Now you talk about flying like my M30T. Now you're talking about a drone that gives you not just your regular AGL. My telemetry on that M30T gives me MSL, which basically means it gives me the mean stars, which basically means gives me what's the term look for sea level.
Above sea level.
It gives me both sea level height and the height I took off from.
Hey, Dre, rumor has it that controller will be software compatible soon. Well, not soon, with the Mavic 3 Enterprise units.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't opened it up to the M300 yet. So that's to me. I thought that was going to be a natural thing for the M300 people to cry about, that you got this very nice controller and you're letting the M300 still use basically old style, old style smart controller with an extra little bar in the bottom of it for extra antennas and stuff. So I'm surprised at that. I mean, I think that controller should be across the board, just like I felt that RC Pro should have been across the board with the Air 2s and Air 2Ss, the Mavic 3s. And I thought that was the craziest thing I ever heard of, when you had a controller, same controller, one version works for Mavic 3, one version works for Air 2S, and so forth. I said, that's craziness, and it's the same controller.
Let me go ahead and welcome Mr. Bob Casey Ariel. How you doing, brother? Thank you for popping in, buddy. Mr. Bob Casey Ariel. Hope you're having a good day, man. What's going on, Mr. Midas Drone World? Thank you for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Matty. Yeah, so I can say I know DJI. Actually, it's a business, and we are consumers. And I know they're sitting back there and they make plans and so forth, to where we're going to do so much to appease our clients, as they say, the consumers, because like I say, once we're into this, all of us here, we're all hooked, and we're going to buy the controllers that they send out there, because that's what we do. I mean, DJI doesn't bend our arms. But as soon as we say, oh, I can get this, I can get that, and we go out there and we do it, So it's just a matter of time. If they are going to allow the enterprise system to be united across the board, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
but,
that would be. The likelihood is probably.
Yeah, that's what I say, the likelihood, because then you got to say again, those who bought, now I want in this. Now, your RC Pro that you got with the Mavic 3 Enterprise, does that work with your regular Mavic 3?
No, it does not. So
No, it does
I
not.
have three. I have three smart controllers.
3
So two
RC
of them
Pros.
RC Pro smart controllers. Two are enterprise, and obviously the other one is just for the standard and the Cine I have. But I love the
Now,
Mavic 3 platform, Dre. I love it.
yeah. I mean, I get it, and that's my whole thing is that here it is again. Now you have the regular. I hate to say the word regular, but the Mavic. I'm gonna say RC Pro with your Mavic 3s,
Yeah,
and that one still doesn't work with a Air
with
2S.
it. That one does work with the Air 2. I'm pretty sure it works with the Air 2. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure someone
Okay,
in the chat
because
will.
I know
I'm pretty sure it does.
because I know when they first came out, they were not compatible, and
Yeah,
Correct.
that's
they
what
were.
because that's what the whole confusion was. That some people bought the Air 2S with the original smart controller, and then later on they gave the RC Pro controller with it, but that RC controller only worked with the Air 2S and couldn't use it with the Mavic 3, and then the
Before,
Mavic
yes.
3,
Before the update, yeah.
right, and then the Mavic 3 couldn't vice versa. And I said that's pretty wild and
I
stuff.
mean,
So
it's kind of like what they did with the DJI Mavic Classic. I mean, the drone seems to be alright, but I think it's crappy how they have it where it's like they're doing a dumbing down drone. They should have came up with the Classic first, then the Mavic 3, the Cine, and then so far and so on. They came up with all of that before, and then they brought out the Mavic Classic, which again, I actually I know two people that work with me that have it, and I flew one of them, and it seems fine, but that the little new Mini 3 Pro RC,
mhm.
Pro that they have is so it feels crappy compared to the RC Pro. It
Yeah,
feels
but you
like
know what?
cheaply
I'll
made.
tell you this because I have that remote for the
It
Mini
feels
3
cheaply
Pro.
made to me.
It does feel cheaply made, but I would rather fly with that than a cell phone.
I understand. I hear you, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said before, DJI is in the business of making money. Now you guys got to ask yourself this: if DJI would have came out with the Mavic 3 Classic first, who would have bought the higher end ones at the
Nobody would
price?
have bought it.
Nobody would have bought it.
Probably.
Simple as that.
Hey, it's a good marketing scheme, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
like anything
Great
else,
marketing scheme.
yeah, it's great. Like I say, you got those who, I would say those who are first to dip their toe in the waters. They want to get the latest thing that comes out. Bam, they got it. They paid the $3,000 and some change. Fly more combo. If you get the Cine model, that means you're up to $4 to almost $5,000. Yada yada yada. And then they come out with these other versions of it, and now they come out with the classic. Because like I said, once
I bought a refurbished Cine model only, just the bird itself, and
right,
got it at a pretty good price. And I
yeah,
love that. I love that thing. The ProRes on it, it's great.
mm-hmm.
And some clients do want it. Their split is shot in that, so I'm able to do it.
Right.
And it's the Mavic 3 platform again.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just
but
flies
think
great.
about it. Think about it also.
And the internal
It comes with
SSD
1
card.
terabyte of memory,
That's
1
yes,
terabyte.
yes. You don't need
Yeah.
a
So you don't need no
SD
damn
card.
SD card.
Right. And like I said, like Al thinks like me, I'll wait to pick one up secondhand, refurbished,
Secondhand,
secondhand,
there's nothing wrong
whatever.
with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I'm golden, because I'm thinking like DJI. Why am I going to go out and spend top dollar? And I mean, I can get it secondhand if all possible. Like I say, all of my Phantoms I have are used, are refurbished and stuff. I never bought a brand new Phantom. All the ones I have are being used or refurbished.
Now,
Yeah, I bought-
if you could actually answer not FPV, since you actually do both FPV and GPS drone, is that possible?
What's his question? Oh, pull out telemetry. No, I've never seen that.
No, I don't think any of the DJI
Yeah, the
remote
telemetry is on the screen.
is on the screen.
That's about all, yeah.
And that's what I was saying that, once we got past the original RC for the Mavic 2 Pro, there are no more controllers that have separate telemetry on the remote itself. And that's why I said people have to be mindful about their screen time, what you're looking at on your screen. Pay attention to your telemetry, because that is going to save you from losing a drone. And I tell people what you're actually doing. A lot of times you may outfly the ability of the drone. You're out too far. You're getting you're starting to lose connection with the RC. So that means when you start losing a couple bars, you start saying it's 5 bars in the thing. So you say you're getting out about that third bar, you should know, hey, I need to turn around and start coming back because
Yeah.
I'm losing bars and stuff. Because everybody's thinking about, well, let me go a little bit further. And I said, boom, it can go from 3 bars to nothing, and then you're like, what
Hey,
happened?
Dre, on my Phantom 4 Pro, when I do the job on Mondays that I always have to shoot progress photos for, I only
Mm-hmm.
fly those batteries to like 45%. From 100 to 40. I do not trust them, maybe because they're older
Yeah.
model. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always have the fear of God when I put everything in everything. And great
Yeah.
bird, but
Yeah,
it
and
always
that
gets
and
me
that
nervous.
and that just goes back to one of my things I tell people, like you and I who go out and we shoot things. I scan the area that I'm going to be shooting at, and I look for the highest elevation in the area, and that's where I launch from. And just to get back to Mr. White's question, that's how I'm able to make sure I maintain connection. It's like last weekend, I was down in the city of Orange flying a Walmart job, and all it was an orbit around the Walmart the area of a big shopping plaza, and then I had to do a couple fly-ins at different directions towards store, a south, north, and east fly-in and stuff. And like I said, I flew from about a block north of the facility. And I said, when I got out there, I saw that the facility was kind of below grade, street level. So I went up about 2 blocks by a Wells Fargo bank, went in their parking lot, launched from there because they gave me the best view of the whole area I had to fly in. Because that orbit itself, I flew at about 10 miles per hour, 4K, 60 frames per second, 10 miles per hour. And the orbit was a oval shape. So it took about 18 minutes to complete the orbit alone. That's how large the facility of this plaza was. And I wanted to make sure the footage was just extra smooth. So whatever parts they wanted to use, they won't have no issues with it and stuff. And the people are very happy. The people
Let
are
me
very
welcome.
happy.
Let me welcome Mr. Hood Tours, Lon Denard,
So,
and also Mr.
Hey,
Hugo
George, what's
Vista
up?
Era. Thank you for popping in.
what's up, Lon?
Appreciate it.
Lon really likes you, Dre. Complimenting you.
That's my buddy. Lon's my buddy. I like folks like Lon because Lon will, even though we don't agree on everything, he comes back with factual information.
He agrees to disagree.
There
And
you
like you
go.
said,
Hey guys,
Like
do
I
me
said,
a favor. Go ahead and ladies, smash that thumbs up on the stream for me. I really appreciate it.
that's why I like when people. I said, don't tell me how your feelings are. Just tell me some facts and stuff. Give me some facts, you know. But yeah, that
Hey,
thing took. It's an 18-minute orbit, dude, on that facility.
what's going on, Mr.
that's
Curtis?
a
Dar? How
lot.
you
How
doing,
fast
buddy?
were you
Thank you
going?
for
You're going
popping in.
slow,
10 miles per hour.
huh?
And the guy thought I was going to fly that somewhere real fast. So, it took you. He talked about it should not have took me no more than about 90 seconds. He thought. I said, dude, flying that large facility that far away, 90 seconds. I had to be flying somewhere about 25, almost 30 miles per hour. And I said, then you're subject to a lot of different things. You're talking about how fast the camera can react to the speed of your movement, any movement on the ground, everything else, and then you run the risk of something being blurry. And I was asking a question to a guy earlier today. He was upset because his Mavic 3, he had a Mavic 3 Enterprise, and he's talking about he was upset because when he was trying to do some mapping, it wouldn't let him fly faster than 22 miles per hour. And I told the guy, I said, dude, if you're doing some serious mapping for accuracy, you probably don't want to fly no more than about 14 or 15 miles per hour. And I was telling him, when I do mapping jobs, I would say 12 miles per hour is my limit because you start flying too fast, depending upon the height, what you're flying at, the camera can't focus fast enough because you're moving too fast. I mean, a mechanical shutter is great, best thing to have, but you can, like I said, you can outfly the camera and you'll start getting blurry images and all this kind of stuff that make things kind of off. And you don't want to go back and say, oh, I got to reshoot this whole thing again because basically I'm flying too fast.
Now, brother Joe, when it comes to your DJI M30T,
Hmm.
does it also have where you can actually fly normal, cinematic, and sports mode, or they only have only just flying on normal?
It has sports mode and normal.
Okay, so normal it goes about 30 or 40 plus miles an hour.
In normal mode, it'll peak out right around 38, almost 40. But
Okay,
in
on
sports
sports
mode,
about 55,
55. I've hit
55.
55,
Holy cow!
and it don't take much either. Matter of
So with
fact, that
so with the wind, you could probably go about 60, 65 maybe with the wind.
oh yeah, that drone will definitely fly right past you if you're not careful. Like I said, we're used to flying in the areas of 20s and 30s, even no matter what drone you may have. But when you have something of that size moving that fast, it will come up on something else or come back at you if you're bringing it back towards you at a surprising rate. And that thing has a very fast descent rate and ascent rate. So you think you're just lollygagging back to your point of takeoff, manually flying, and that thing is zooming right at you.
Now that drone is pretty heavy. But how heavy is that drone? How heavy is that drone, by the way?
It weighs about I say it's a good
I go
six.
3 pounds, 4 pounds, maybe.
No, I would say between 5 to 6 pounds.
How much?
5 to 6 pounds with the batteries
Holy
in it.
shit!
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Like I said, it's coming at you and stuff, and you ain't gonna fool around with you. Like I say, doing that one shoot I did a couple of weeks back, like I said, you really got to pay attention to all the factors, your telemetry and everything else, because like I said, you'll drop down, getting low, and you're flying at that speed, and that ground is coming up at you really fast. And stuff. You fly low, or you're getting close to the object, you don't realize how fast this thing is actually flying. That you got to almost got to rethink yourself, rethink how you're controlling it, because everything's coming a little faster at you.
Holy cow! 50 plus miles an hour in sports. That's really fast.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so. When it comes to the oh crap, what is the progression on the Amazon gig that you're doing, Dre? Is it complete or is it still going?
No, that was completed. I did my final shots on that a couple of weeks back. Did the I'd say the we call it Al the um, what kind of shots they call it for us we say cinematic shots. They call it something else. But yeah, I took the nice little glamour shots. They call it glamour shots and stuff. They want to put in their brochures and stuff. So I'm shooting shots on all the four cardinal directions. Basically, it's going to be northeast, south, and west, northeast, southeast, east, west, all that kind of stuff. So you're taking
Okay.
about eight shots at 400 feet. You're going to do a couple. You're going to do another 6 or 7 shots at about 200 feet, and then you're going to do some nice, as they say, creative shots off the axis of the building, which means you'll come off a corner, so you'll catch two different angles of the building, like almost like splitting a wave.
There's a verbiage for what's it called? Omni. God damn it. Ordinal, like cardinal, but ordinal.
Cardinals ones are
Cardinal,
based
and
up.
then there's another like ordinal, like southeast, or
Yeah, as I
I
say,
always get confused with that shit.
the Cardinals ones basically around the compass and in between. You'll have like 8 shots of that, 8 shots. So you cover all the angles of that, and that'll usually be about 400 feet. And also, they always want the bird's eye view, which will be right on top of the property, looking straight down at it and stuff, and everything else. And then you might, like me, I like giving them a bird's eye view slightly off the property, so almost like you're looking down at it with a little bit of background angle, because nobody wants to look straight down, look at all roof. You still want to get some of that nice surrounding, especially that facility I had out there in Beaumont, California, but it was sitting right around. There was mountains around 3 sides of the facility, so you want to kind of show that off. I always look at you got to think this is going into a brochure or a PowerPoint presentation to their investors and whoever else they want to show the buildings up, stakeholders and stuff like that. So when you're doing jobs like that, you have to think about who, like I said, who your customers are, who they're trying to show off the work to. So you got to, I say, be in that creative mode. And like I say, you get down low, we call roof line level, and you're catching both angles of the building. And you'll get shots of that off about one of the nicest corners of the building where you'll
This is a
show
brand new
kids.
Walmart. Dre? Is that what you're shooting?
No, this is the Amazon, brand new Amazon did. The
Oh,
Walmart, this Walmart's been there for a while. I don't know what's going on with that and stuff, but it's been a
they're
while.
building that area where you at. Huh? A lot
Oh,
of the
where I'm at,
warehouse
but
type of-
yeah, where I'm at, they're building like crazy. But like I said, this one I took down in Orange, California, right there on the border of Riverside and Orange County, and I did this job about a week ago, and and they were very happy. Like I was telling you, because I flew it so slow, they were thrilled because they knew they would not have to alter the footage very much. They catch everything in its natural movement. Because a lot of times, like I said, as pilots, we all look at movies and commercials differently now because we've been flying these drones, and we can even tell in commercials or movies and stuff. Excuse me, where we can tell where they speed up footage or where they slow down footage for whatever effect they're trying to gather. But when you give them footage, they don't have to play with much. To where what you did is right there on the money. They love that, dude. They love that.
Did you flew with the Phantom 4 or
Oh yeah,
or your M30?
I flew the whole thing with the Phantom 4, dude.
Now, Dre.
The M30 only goes to 30 frames per second. I wanted to shoot it in 60 frames per second.
Hey, let me welcome Steven Drones. I'm Mr. Rigor Murders. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it. Question for you guys.
You forgot the Hugo.
I already said thank you for Hugo for being here. A question for you, Dre. Excuse me. For you, Al, and everybody in the chat. Have you guys catch yourself watching a movie where you could kind of tell that the shot they're trying to get is done with a drone, or is it just me? Because I catch myself saying, "Damn, that gotta be a drone shot."
All the time. And for me, I go back. I had a film appreciation class in college, and that class, I took that class back in 1980, and I'm actually now, here it is, almost 40 years later. It actually is over 40 years later that I'm using the techniques that I learned in that class today, as far as flying with drones. And how we talked about the classic filmmakers of the day, the Alfred Hitchcock's views, the Orson Welles type of filming, even like we look at how Spike Lee has a certain shot that he does in all of his movies.
That sounds like a history of cinema class.
Right. It's like I said, it's a film appreciation class I had, and it's so funny. My wife was watching a marathon show of movies called The Thin Man, and it's an old husband and wife detective show, and it's a movie. They're like 4 or 5 movies, whatever. Might be more, but I saw that Spike Lee move where he brings the subject through the activity, whatever's going on, and everything else is still, but the person's moving forward without really moving.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's standing on something and they're dragging him across the scene. That started back in the 1940s, dude. And Spike Lee just kind of took it and made it his own. So that's what I'm saying. Stuff like that you pick up on right away when you see it and stuff. So, yeah, I see it all the time in commercials and stuff. And I'm always thinking like, man, I could have done that. That's my thinking about it. I could have done that. That's it. Oh yeah, Bob. You can tell when I get excited. I don't breathe.
Yeah. Now
I got to put on my what's his name? The young guy in Philly. When he talks on his videos, that boy don't nonstop. He don't take a breath for nothing.
Yeah. Now another question for you, Dre. Hey, Dre, this is for you. When it comes to that job that you were saying you did, the final job for that gig, when you use the Mavic, the DJI Phantom 4, are you using that mechanical shutter when you're moving to take those shots?
Say that again.
The mechanical shutter only works for photography. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have anything to do with video.
No.
Well, not just video. For example, when you like the job you said that you were doing today, you were taking a lot of pictures, right? When I was talking to
Hmm.
you on the phone.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, is that you doing it, or is it that you do it that you set up the flight and then the joint just did what it had to do by itself?
Yeah. Yeah. That was autonomous flight. When you
Autonomous. Okay,
called me,
okay, okay. All
yeah,
right. Okay,
that was
okay. I
autonomous
thought it was
flight.
you doing it by yourself.
No, I mean, people talk about they can do it themselves, but I said, man, that is so time stakingly just a lot of effort. Because then you're talking about how do you calculate how often you take a picture,
Correct.
okay? And that means you got to either have a watch, you can time it every 3 seconds, you're hitting the button or whatever, or even faster and stuff. And then you're worried about also flying, you know. And then you got to think about when I turn around, am I in the right position for have the right amount of overlap?
Well, of course, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much you have to go through to do it manually that doing it autonomously is a no-brainer. You know, I mean, you get so many softwares out there. Uh, you know, it's like I said, it's a no-brainer. You know, you got Pix4D, you got Drone Deploy, you got several others out there. Now you got, like I said, DJI is really stepping up to the plate with the pilot app. That pretty soon it's going to be a one-stop shop. You know, it's going to be to the point that you, cause like I say, even when people send me files to fly, they don't tell me get on Drone Deploy and create a file. They send me the KML file. Okay, which means I can use whatever software I choose to use it for. You know, they may recommend, okay, yeah, we always use Drone Deploy, whatever. All those softwares kind of basically work the same. Okay, so I can take the same KML file, upload it into the DJI Pilot app, and it's going to fly. It's going to fly the same grid, the same number of pictures, everything else. Take the same file, upload it into Pix4D. It's going to be the same grid, same number of pictures, yada yada yada. From there, and stuff. Billy Cow. That's what I think about. Billy Cow. Bob Casey. I sound like Billy Cow. Never takes a breath. Right.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Chris Wedgeford? Thank you for popping in, buddy. Really
Chris.
appreciate you, man. Yeah, Curtis, I actually just checked it out. That is a very beautiful picture, man.
Yeah,
What drone did you
Curtis
use for
does
that
some
picture?
great stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Chris Wedgworth. Chris. You guys have not checked out Chris's videos lately. Go check him out, dude. He is getting some excellent footage up there in Northern California in those mountains.
Yeah, I love it up there.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Curtis. That picture actually looked real. I cannot believe it's actually AI. I thought it was a real
Hey,
picture.
Curtis does great work. He does good work.
Yeah, he does.
I can vouch for it.
He actually did yours, ain't it?
He did.
Aldias?
That's what my opening page.
Yeah.
I have it on my website. He did a great job.
I like the way he makes your logo kind of like go like coming in and
Static?
out, like the radio station, glitching.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's fine, Mighty Drone World. I understand, man. Do what you have to do, buddy.
What happened with Maddie? Oh.
As a matter of fact, let me see if I could share that picture real quick. Cause I mean, StreamYard went ahead and changed everything around now. It used to be so damn easy to share stuff. Let me see. Window. Uh-oh. Chrome tab. This. That. And where's the picture he sent me? Right here. Just gotta wait for my shitty ass internet to go ahead and boot up.
Well, we're gonna be here all night.
Right here. Can you see that?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome.
That looks
dude.
freaking beautiful, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
He did a
That's
couple
awesome.
of Lord of the Ring ones. I don't know if it's exactly Lord of the Rings, but he did some amazing artwork with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great, Curtis.
Yeah, that was a great freaking picture right there. Hey, what you doing? How you doing, Mr. Paul Hodges, Mr. Phantom Hodges Drone? Thank you for popping in, man. I really appreciate it. Guys, do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up on the stream for me. I really appreciate it.
Did you say what's up to Matt? Mr.
Yes,
Samuel?
I did. Hey, Aldea, do you have any gig you gotta do in the morning?
I don't have any gigs tomorrow. Tomorrow's
No?
Sunday football day. If it was raining on Monday, I would have to do a job on Sunday. But it's not going to rain. Well, it's not supposed to. So no. Tomorrow I'm watching football.
What about you, Dre? You just gonna chill at the house tomorrow? You got a little gig?
Depends. Like I said, I have nothing scheduled, and I guess I did most of my flying today, turning my my billing, so I'm good.
Oh, Mark, I'm watching. Is it bothering you? And it's flickering. I'm watching.
No, it's fine. I like. I think it's fine, but I guess he just wanted to know.
I'm watching the USC game. That's why I could turn it off. It'll be nice and dark.
You watching UFC?
USC.
No, USC.
Football, dude. Football.
Man,
American
football. The original USC.
Yeah.
Not University of South Carolina. University of Southern California.
I thought he was watching the Ultimate Fighting Champion.
No. USC Notre Dame.
What's going on, Mr. Matt Bagwell? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in, buddy. And yes, I'm still here. Up, we just started. I saw you on your rooftop.
Yeah.
Aldias, I looked on Best Buy. They actually have the Mavic 3 Cine refurbished for $42.99. While the original one is $49.99. I mean the brand new one.
Go on eBay, you can probably get the body only, like a replacement, for a lot cheaper because you already have a smart controller.
Nah, I'm not telling you that because I want one. I was just talking hypothetically.
I
don't want another Mavic 3. I already have one.
He's Captain Shorts over here.
The one I would like to have would be that Mavic 3 Thermal, but that's going to have to be several years from now. I'm not no time soon. No, I would like to have it just because of the thermal. That's why. I think that is freaking great. I think it's awesome technology. I would love to have that M30T, but not for no 15,000. Hell no.
There's some good deals on Amazon. That Autel Evo Light Plus for $11.19. I think it's like.
I won't spend that money in the city either, Matt Bagwell. I won't do it. It's just too much. I'd rather go ahead and get the freaking Mavic 3 Enterprise Thermal, and I just stick with that one. I don't need no freaking 1,000 gigabytes. I know.
Jim's droning. There's no licensing needed for ProRes. You just shoot it. You don't need a license with the Mavic 3 Cine. It's already there. 422 all the way up to 422 HQ. It's not like the Inspire 2, where you have to have the ProRes package.
That would be a nice video, Final Hodges, if you catch it with your Autel Evo 2. That'd be nice. We can't ask Aldias any more questions about the Autel Evo because he went astray and sold it.
I did sell that shit. No, I can't call it shit. I mean,
he went ahead and sold out to the man, Final Hodges. He sold it.
I sold it. Got rid of it. Kept the
Phantom
4 Pro V2 over that.
He said, fuck Altel. I'm going to go all DJI.
I like the no geofencing, though. That's the only thing. But outside of that, it just doesn't fly like a DJI drone. People.
That's one thing that I have to. I'm still getting used to. That is hard for you to go ahead and get a little cinematic movement with that damn drone. I'm trying to find a way to tweak it up, and it's giving me hell to tweak it up. I'm getting better at it though.
Oh, Dre, you just got fact checked.
Wait a minute. I know who did it.
One year mark. It says University of South Carolina was established in 1801. USC was founded in 1880. Good deal,
little known London history.
I just know when I was down in Naval Base Charleston when it was still open. They always talk about USC, and I'm like, what are you talking about, USC? I'm sitting out ready to watch the game and hear these fools come out in these powder blue and white uniforms and stuff. Like, what the heck is this? Is that USC? I'm like, I want to see some Southern California USC.
Someone got a Enterprise model, a new Mavic 3 Enterprise model.
No,
Mavic 2
he
Enterprise?
got he also had the Altel Evo 2 Enterprise like I do.
Oh, okay, like
Yeah.
you do.
And he got the smart controller as well.
Hey, now here's a question, Adrian. I don't know if you know it. I don't know it, but is your Evo 2 Enterprise going to be supported by Autel still? Because I've read it on somewhere where they're going to stop supporting in 2023, like the Evo 2s. I don't know if it was the Enterprise B2 or
That
B1.
I don't know. I guess I will have to go ahead and call him and find out. That I have not read any kind of the forum because I've been trying to keep up there with the forums out there about Altel Evo, and I haven't heard nothing yet. And again, this is the question from Steven Drones.
I was reading. I'm trying to figure. He talking about video cards or what?
It's like the file size.
I believe the 4096 is 5.1K, isn't it? Aldi is a 5.4K.
3840
is 4K.
4K, yeah.
Well, both would be. I think both of those
4K.
are 4K.
4K.
No, Focus 2160, isn't it?
All
no,
right,
because I know.
Ask Alon. Where's Alon at?
Ask Alon, because I know when you go to your settings, there's two levels of 4K. 3840 is like the lower level. The 4096 is the higher level.
Yeah, you're right, because they show them on the Phantom 4 Pro.
Yeah, they show both. You got two levels of it.
Oh, actually, Aldia, look what Londinar said.
Yeah, that's why I sold my
V1s
shit.
will not be supported no more.
Lon was right. Lon talking about when them not supporting their older drones.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I always say that. That's where DJI has blown the competition out of the water. That they still try to do a little bit for their older drones, even though the drone world moves at such a fast pace. Like I say, we talk about the Phantom like it was built back in the 1980s when they were the top of the line, 5 years ago. And we got people.
I truly believe that they stopped making that drone because of the body getting cracks on it and batteries getting cracked. I know you said you've never gotten any of that shit on there, but to this day, every goddamn Phantom I've owned has some type of hairline crack in it.
Yeah, I told you. I think 2 weeks ago I got crack in my rear motors, and
I had brand new batteries. The same thing. A month later, they got a crack on it.
Yeah,
and it just seems to be a Phantom thing.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, I think once they went to the Mavic design, they felt that was going to be the platform to go with. But like I said, when you build something that, like I said, it's just like trucks. Once you build a certain level of a truck, everybody wants it. No matter how many different things may change, there's something about like a V8 engine. You know what? You can come out with all the more nice V6s and more economical 4 cylinders or whatever. But once somebody has driven a V8 and all the power comes with a V8, they're always going to want a V8. That's all it's to it.
True
that. And that's what I'm saying about the Phantoms. I mean, you know what? DJI built something that is so smooth, buttery smooth to fly. It flies like no other type of drone that I've had my hands on. Yeah, and like I said, like when I told Adrian when he got his, I said, now you go fly that thing around and you get back and fly your other drones. And he's like, and even Adrian said, man, that Phantom flies so smooth and easy. You can work the sticks very gently, and that thing just floats this way, floats that way, and buttery smooth, man, and it's easy to get cinematic footage of it. I look at my Mavic 2 Pros and my Enterprise Advanced and stuff, and I mean those things. You move those sticks a little bit, they're like do jumping around and stuff. And now the M30, because of the size of that thing it flies similar to a Phantom when it moves back and forth. And I think
You're
that's because of
surprised. The bigger drones actually fly pretty smooth.
yeah, like I said,
I flew an M600. That thing was buttery smooth. I was shocked.
yeah,
I
and I
couldn't
think it's
believe it.
because of the size and the weight that they are that they move like that. It takes a lot to really get that amount of weight going in direction and stuff. And so yeah, I believe you, Lon. I say you can't get parts for a Phantom 3 anywhere. That's for sure. You got to buy it all secondhand offline, off somebody else. I got one Phantom 3 left, and it's got like 5 batteries to it. It's got
But
a
it's
hot
amazing that they're still around, though. You could still find parts for it. You know what I
yeah
mean? Like,
yeah. I guess I got a high end antenna thing for it. I was like, it's a nice thing to play with. That's just I like using those drones to train with because the Phantom 3s don't have no front, rear, sides, or back sensors. So you can fly as low as you want to without nothing going off or no sensors warning you. It's all you, all your own abilities and stuff.
I was looking at the video just now, Steven drones, and I can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, look
Matter
at
of,
Steven
matter of fact,
Drones is
let me share the video, and you guys tell me if you actually notice the difference. Matter of fact, hey, Aldias, can you share that video for me?
oh, don't ask me to do that. You're gonna have
Please, the
Dre
one
do it.
from Steven Drones.
It'll.
what
I don't
video
know
you
how to
talking
do it.
about?
He popped a link in the chat.
Oh,
Steven Drones at 9:58. And if you want to
okay.
share it, you're gonna have to go where it says present at the bottom with
Yeah.
between settings. Dre, and go ahead and click the share screen. And you don't need my permission anymore since you're admin, so you can go ahead and do it yourself.
Typhoon H.
Hey, can you make it big, Dre?
Well, that's not big enough for you.
Again, I can't tell the difference. Can you?
That's
He
hard
says
to
that
tell.
2 times.
Let me
Steven
check.
Drones Typhoon 8 zoom 4 times.
I think he's saying that the quality of the video when he's zooming
Yeah, the
in
quality of the video.
is it changes, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming like any zooming drone, depending if it's optical zoom or
Well, that's what I'm going to say.
digital.
That's just my point is that I think it's more about because he's using a digital zoom compared to a optical zoom. Because I believe I could be mistaken, but I want to say the original Mavic Zoom had 4 times zoom optical originally, something like that. I know my Enterprise
Mavic 2
Advanced.
zoom?
Yeah, what was it? Optical zoom up to a certain point, then went digital, or was it all digital?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's all optical zoom. I don't think it's digital, Dre.
Yeah, I thought it was all optical on that one.
Because I still have the Mavic 2 zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I said that's the biggest thing. That's why I talk about even with the quality cameras in drones and how they look, and even talking about these things, these webcams. Is the type of is it actual glass that they're using in them, or is it some type of refined plastic that's close to glass? Because when you start zooming, all that stuff
think
comes
it's
into
glass,
play.
Dre. It feels like glass. It don't feel like plastic.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. All that comes into play when you start talking about camera, zoom and everything else. A lot of it, the sensor comes into play. The actual structure build of the camera comes into play, and so forth. So that's what I said. That's why I was saying that when I zoomed in on that one video I did a couple of weeks back when it rained and I showed the pictures of that basin blown out. Like I say, that M30T has up to a 18 optical zoom.
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
pretty good. And it's
and that's
clear.
what I'm saying. Clear as a bell, dude. Because that's all built in the glass and everything else. The zoom capabilities. Like I say, once you get up in the digital area, yeah, once you get to a certain point, it's going to deteriorate. You
It's
know.
like the Mavic 3, the basic Mavic 3, the consumer. Even the Cine, the
Hmm.
standard, seven,
Right.
everything after 7 times zoom, it kind of falls apart.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Stephen Jones does a good job with that Typhoon that he has.
He does. Hey, Stephen John, this is the question for you from Don Denard. But yeah, he is making great videos, Dre.
Hmm.
What's his link? I don't think I've subscribed to him. Where's he at? Oh, okay, up there.
What's going on, Mr. Ken Plays It here? How you doing, brother Andrew? Thank you for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate it, man. No, not yet, man. I'm still here. Oh, Dre, I think this is a question for you.
I'm about to send him a message right now. Hang on a second.
I think you get a 2-week trial for free, and you can
I'm trying to stay
process
Well,
on
it.
top of
I'll
chat.
go ahead and talk about it. It's you can do the 2 week trial for free, but you can still download the software for free, and
That's
you can use the software to create maps and flights and everything else. But if you want to have the rendering done, that's where it costs you. Okay, so like I
That's what
say,
they all cost.
yeah, that's what they all cost, and that's why I say I use the drone deploy just to do the flying part, to set the maps up. I don't use drone deploy for any rendering services at all. And the same thing with Pix 4D. I don't use them for rendering services. Hey, what's up, Andrew? So that's to answer your question, Ken. That yeah, you could even create a KML file on a CAD device system or any other type of program out there, and then you can upload it up to into drone deploy, and that'll allow your drone to fly the grid.
Can place it here. You can also use Maps Made Easy. I think a certain amount of photos, you get a free map. And I
Yeah,
forgot what it was. I'm
yeah,
using Metascape, the standard version, and of course you can't do everything on it. But I just
right,
use it for 2D mapping, and then send it out to a customer. They're more before and after for progress shots.
right. And like I said, I use
So,
if I do one of my for myself or for a customer, if they want me to do a rendering for them, I use the Web OD or something like that.
oh, that's open source. I don't know nothing
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, I use that, and it's not
That's the
bad at
cheaper
all.
one. That's like $50 or something, or is it free?
Well, it's if you want the full download on your computer, I think it's like $50. Other than that, you can do it in the cloud. And like I said, what it is, you buy. I think you buy so many points or something. If you get like a map with no more than I think it's no more than 100 pictures, something like that, or maybe under 200, it don't really cost you nothing at all. If you start doing something larger, like what I do, like 500 something pictures a shot, yeah, that's when you start getting into the money. Yeah.
See, the numbers represent the pixels. Okay.
Yeah, he was talking with Steve about the difference in the resolution of those different settings.
Hey, that's a great bird. Always wondered what happened with that company. You know
Well,
what I
I
mean?
guess you
Because they
know
came out
what?
with the redundancy. You know what I mean? It was a
Yeah,
hex.
here's Uncle Bill. Like I said, I almost was looking to get a unique. That's the first one I heard about when I started looking into drones. I have a brother-in-law who lives about 3 or 4 blocks from me, and he was under getting unique stuff, even as FPV. Unique was dipping in the FPV stuff. So I was looking at Unique, and all of a sudden they just fell off the map. They just went dark and
Yeah.
stuff, man. And then I started hearing about these DJI company, DJI this and DJI that, and I did my research, and that's why I went DJI because basically they were still around.
Let
You
me
know,
welcome Charles Galusky, Uncle Bill's Toys, and Sky Control Productions. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Hunky doing? How you doing, Uncle
Ladies,
Bill?
gentlemen, go ahead and smash the thumbs up on stream. I really appreciate that.
yeah.
Dre, do you have any videos you would like to share, sir?
No, I think I had enough fun for today.
Okay. So you don't even want to look
Yeah.
at your own videos?
Dre, I want to see
Nah.
that beautiful B-roll of you walking slow motion.
As you, who's that? Was it you or somebody else talking about? That's probably why I hurt my knee on that
I
walking in
said it.
slow
I was just,
motion. Oh man, y'all too funny and stuff. Now the funny thing is, now Adrian, remember we was talking earlier about the amount of
I will leave
views.
that for your Uncle Bill's toys. Go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, remember we was talking about the amount of views you may get off any video. Now the one that got the least amount of views, and it's always fascinated me when I see my own stuff on my own channel. You know, you go to your first open YouTube and you go through different things. I'm going through the shorts and my
Yeah.
videos there. The worst one is there. Not the one that got a lot of views, the worst one.
Yeah, I hear you. I know.
I said, what kind of nonsense is this, dude? I said, the YouTube algorithm is just,
I
I
know.
don't
It's
know.
it's kind of like what Aldia's telling me that sometimes he'll pop a short that would get him a whole bunch of views, but then he pop
Right,
another one and he will barely get any hits.
right.
It's
Yeah.
I
crazy
think
the
it's
way
the
the
time
shows
the time
work.
of the day you're doing it. But Adrian's mastering it. He's
But
doing.
Al, I did like 3 or 4 shorts a day, back to back to back, all within 15, 20 minutes, dude.
And
One
when,
went the first one went over 1,000 within 15 minutes.
yeah, it's weird how that
And
happens.
then the second one barely went to about maybe 200 in the same time frame. And the third one, even to idea, if I look it up, it don't even have over 10 views.
Well, it happens. I think
I
I
was
put
like,
up one. I put up one because I had a buddy that called me, asked me if I could take my Enterprise up and film it as it goes
uh-huh,
up,
right.
and send it to him, and I did that. And the
Mm-hmm.
prick complained about it and said it was cheap quality. So I
Ah,
uploaded it. I uploaded it the next day, 4 views. Wah, 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 wah. I guess
yeah,
Adrian was right.
yeah. It's just crazy, man. Too crazy and stuff. So I don't know what the trick is to it, you know.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Scott Fly? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for
But
popping in, my
I
brother.
got one more. I'm gonna probably do another. I know I'm doing another one coming up this week, and I can tell by the title of the video is going to be drone pilots in training and stuff.
Are you
So
are you are you are you training a group of guys or what?
no, dude, it's going to be a parody joke video about
Oh, okay.
drone pilot getting in shape for training, and the ending's going to be the kicker.
Now, now, Dre, the last show that I did was on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, and that's the one that I did the DJI Mavic 3 versus the Alta Lever 2 precise landing. That one got me a little over 2,000 views.
Let's watch it, Adrian. Let's watch these shitty shorts. I mean, you're short, so we can see how it's done. Please, I want to see how it's done, buddy. Put it
All
on,
right,
please.
so great. Sky Control went ahead and popped in link. Let me see what you're talking about. Because you're talking about bikinis. Let me see this first. Hold on. The last thing I need is a damn strike on my damn channel. Oh, he actually did it by drone. Nice. Does it have
Put
music
it
on
on.
it? Yeah, it
You're
got
not
music.
monetized. What are you worried about?
No music. Hold on.
Play
Let
the
me go ahead and
music.
share
You
it. Give me
gotta.
1
If you're
minute.
gonna show the video, you gotta play the music.
No music. Hey, question. Sky Control Production, is this music free YouTube music or is it Epidemic Sound? What is it? To wash my hair. Oh, London now gotta wash his hair. Okay.
Hey, little up. Hey, FYI, if you have a GoPro
It's YouTube
subscription,
music. Never mind.
you get
Got it.
free Epidemic subscription. I went today and I got in it. Just FYI, anybody's interested.
So
I don't know.
you have a GoPro subscription.
I
You
had a
get
GoPro subscription, and
and
you
you get
go on to you get Epidemic. It's like it connects to it. It's weird. I did it
oh
earlier, and I can download Epidemic music with no, you know how to say Epidemic music.
right
You know,
yeah
with the watermark or voice
mm-hmm.
mark on it. Why
right
not? It
Right.
works.
All right, this is the video. Can everybody see it?
yeah we can see it,
See it,
but
dude.
it ain't playing.
I'm seeing it like every 10 seconds. Now it's like every 20.
Stop lying, man.
He ain't lying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Talk about shopping at the Gap.
Can we have Dre share this?
All right, Dre, you share it in.
Where am
If
I
I
going?
could do it, I would have done it.
Hold on a second, man. I gotta get back. Where's the link at? Is it in the chat?
The link is in the chat, but you have to go to the YouTube chat for you to pull it up.
Okay, I'm there. Oh, heck yeah. Let me go ahead and stop this. So this is what happens, Adrian, when you pay for the good stuff. You know?
Well, unfortunately, where I live, I don't have any good service. So let me read what Mr. Mark Wright said.
Let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead and play it. You could do it
Okay,
your own
yeah.
stuff. Go ahead.
All right. Let me go ahead and start it up here. So that's how it's supposed to be played.
Oh, look at
Mute
that.
it.
Oh, wow.
Mute it, Dre.
This is when you have 2 gig coming in the house.
Dre, unmute it. You got to
What do you
mute
mean,
it.
It is on mute. There's no music
No,
playing.
there you go. You hear it now?
I don't hear nothing. When I was doing that, I was playing music. Do it again, Drake. Get out of it. Do it again.
Where's
let me
this
go
at?
back.
Stop the screen share and do it all over again.
I thought you didn't want them to play the music.
Do it. It's free
Okay.
YouTube music.
Okay.
He said it already.
All right. So what do you want?
Easy.
Okay, hang on. Now go to screen share.
Go to screen share again and
Right.
make sure you allow the volume before you actually hit share. You need to go to the video. Make sure that it's not muted no more.
Look for the share audio checkbox on the window. Please follow these steps. What the?
Adrian, you ever thought about like getting an antenna on your house, like a super large antenna? Maybe it's...
Hell, I don't even know how much that will cost. Go ahead and play the video, Dre.
Y'all ready? This is pretty smooth.
We probably paid for a service. They're pretty good surfers.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Jody Drone Shots? Thank you for popping in, buddy. Really appreciate you, man.
Adrian. He said Mini 2. Good job.
Oh, he used the Mini too. Wow, great.
Yeah, he uses the small drones, or he uses FPV when he does a lot of his stuff. But he's got a nice little gig going out there because he's highly requested now. The tourists come over and want to get their surfing bit,
Video,
you know,
nice. All right, I'm
video.
just talking to him right now.
So yeah, he's got a nice little gig going out there.
Nice. Yeah,
That
he
was
found a
great.
niche and he's rolling with
Sky
it. Good
Control
job, dude.
Production. That was really nice.
Tough job. It is really tough.
That's right, Charles Goluski. I know Aldiaz was watching, salivating, but his wife gonna whoop
Dude,
his
I
ass.
was watching the water and I was watching the reflection off the water. I was watching the mountains in the back and the hotels right next to him. That's
There you
about
go.
it.
Ah, hey, Dwayne, that's what he was watching. He was not watching nothing else. He was
I say
watching
it's
the water,
I
the
say,
mountain, and the
I
hotels.
say,
From
tell
the
the truth. Shame the devil. Oh man,
He would like to sleep on his bed tonight, Dre. He don't want to sleep on the couch.
I hear you. I hear you.
The couch is not very comfortable sometimes.
Sometimes it ain't never comfortable.
You put a lot foot on there. You have to make sure you have baggy pants for that gig.
Yeah.
So, what do you
Stop
think?
banging on the table.
Hey, Aldia, what do you think DJI are gonna do about that damn drone doing that with the remote ID error with this RC? Do you
I don't
think we should?
know.
Do you think we should call him and complain?
I think they're reading probably on forums. From all I heard is myself gone through it. You've gone through it. I don't think anybody else has, unless I'm just not reading up on forums and other stuff like that. But it's a bug. It's got to be a bug, like Dre said.
Yeah, it's got to be just like I said. I had a bug in my software from a September update, and then all of a sudden I was getting these warnings that the batteries were not fully using their extended power use or whatever, And Lawrence, brought to my attention on one of the videos I did, and I said, I just, flew this about 2-3 weeks earlier, didn't have that kind of issue, and all of a sudden I did an update and I got to the issue. So we had an update about 2 weeks ago. Now the issue's gone.
Oh, the battery, one of your batteries.
It kept saying that, the battery was
percentage
not.
off or what?
Well, it just said something about you're not getting a full charge from the battery, and that you need. And the guys are giving it. And you go on these lines, and these guys talking about you got to activate. I said, dude, I've had this thing for like 4 or 5 months now. I've used all my batteries at least a couple of times, and I never got this warning until now. So I said it has to be in the software updates. This is why this is happening, because all this thing you're talking about, telling people about, you got to deplete the battery down to less than 20%, charge it all the way up, let it rest for a half an hour, whatever. And I'm like, dude, this is not making any sense, So like I said, most times that DJI sends out a update, you just kind of pick through it and see what happens.
What did Lon put on there? What about?
Well, he talked. I don't know if people did starting in September. This is what part when everybody got updates in September, maybe mid-October. I heard this also that DJI was no longer supporting the Google Maps.
Really?
So like I say, if you were
what are they
using? They're using their own. No, they're using their own maps. So that's another reason why, far as getting the phone connection, that you may have to have to do that to make sure your maps are going to come through.
Oh, didn't know that.
Hey guys, yeah. do me a favor and subscribe to Sky Control Productions channel.
And the only thing I can ask you guys, if you have been turning on your smart controllers lately, have you got a message saying that the Google whatever it is no longer working? It's a little quick exclamation say, and you hit on the screen and it goes away. So basically, it said the Google app. The Google app is no longer working, and the only reason you had a Google app on your smart controller was for that. Primarily was for the maps.
Elon's just saying they don't use Google Maps. There's a
Well, like I
map
said,
on there, but what map service is it? Mapper? Map? What the one map service they
yeah,
use?
it maps something it's called. But I know I've been getting that message on my smart controllers, and that's for the Mavic 2. Even only one I haven't gotten on is for the M30T.
So
All
what
my
happens if you don't do a firmware update on your drone? You just don't get maps. You don't
okay,
have that
map.
feature.
I don't know. Let's do a lot of DJI hasn't used Google Maps in a minute. They use here, and then that's I gotta wait for them to come back and respond. But I know it keeps saying that the Google app is no longer functioning on the smart controller.
Now, are you talking about the first generation smart controller, the first one?
Yeah, that's all I have is the first one because I got it for my Mavic 2 Pros. I have this first generation one for the Mavic Enterprise Advance. So those are the ones I have, and I've seen it on each one of them about the Google app not working any longer.
Hmm.
And I said, but I heard what Lana's talking about how DJI is not supporting the maps or revamping the map thing or whatever, and that's when I start getting that warning. So either I'm confused or something else is amiss. Okay, here is a map. Okay, I missed it. Map GPS program. You guys see that? Oh, there you got it already up.
Oh, here. Okay, that's the name of it. Here's it now. Okay. No, I never heard of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Did he pop a link on the in the chat? Is that what he did?
No, I thought he did, but he didn't. I'm waiting for him to. Hey, Lon, give us some more details on this, partner, because I'm sure I can't be the only one who's seen this.
If you do, I don't think. Hey, Aldias, do you think that anybody that have the Mavic 3 also having the same issue if they're using the original remote with their phone? I don't think they are they? The issues that you and I having.
I don't know if anybody else. I'm sure if you went on like a forum or something, maybe if somebody spoke of it or mentioned it. I told you guys that happened to me like a week ago, and I thought I was going fucking crazy.
I thought you would too, because at first it wasn't happening to me till I did the update. Then after I did it, that's when it started happening to me. Remember when you told me that we've been cheated with the Mavic 3 because of the update with the night mode and all the other BS? After I did the update, that's when mine started doing that.
I don't know if anybody else is experiencing it.
Yeah, we got to get a hold of Brother Ron Brown. He is the guru of the map number updates because I'm sure he knows the serial number exactly what update it is.
It's the most recent one because I never seen it before that.
I don't know.
Or maybe I need to make a video going off on DJI. Hopefully they will reply. Like when I went off on them about the DJI FPV, they replied to me immediately.
Are they watching your show right now, Adrian?
They probably
DJI
are
watching
because they probably are. All right, London said something else.
Yeah, he said because I used the Go 4 app with my Phantoms, but I have the Go 4 app also works with the Mavic 2 Pros, and I use the Pilot app with the Enterprise Advance. So yeah, that might be it, Lon, because I am using the Go 4 more than anything else. I don't have not one drone that uses the whatever that thing you guys use, the Fly app.
Wait a minute. Give me 1 second. I think my freaking microphone is messing up.
No, you sound just fine.
Okay.
Sure, it's not other things.
But your camera's messing up now.
Went on a bathroom break.
Thanks for telling us, Adrian. He cuts the camera off, and I don't know what his mic is doing.
Could be making that black beans and Wonder Bread.
Yeah. Well, thanks for clearing that up, Lon, because that's the one thing I've been seeing it that when I booted up any of my smart controllers for those drones, which do use the Go 4 app by Mavic 2 Pro and so forth, that I get a little pop up that says Google app no longer working or something like that. And Gary, at least we didn't have to go with him. Oh boy, yeah. So like I said, as Adrian and Al was saying, is anybody else who owns a Mavic 3 been having issues regarding, I guess it'll be the Fly app, having issues with the remote ID warning message coming up when they first engage the drone?
I'm sure if you go like a Mavic forum or something like that, and if you did a search, it's probably on there.
Yeah, well, I know there's a couple people in here who have a Mavic 3, so maybe they can hear from them, or they can type into the chat what they experience.
Is Adrian
Yeah.
calling? Ah, oh my god. No, I had to go ahead and fix the something over here, man. The wire, it was coming out. I don't know, something with the modem. I thought because I saw myself going doing no type of goofy shit on YouTube.
Now, Lon is saying that his is getting a message that says remote ID okay or something like that.
Yeah, that's opposite what I get. It's a remote ID error.
Mine is saying remote ID error. And then it comes on like a red letters, right? Aldia, like our little red pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, Mark White, is that it has to be a glitch in the software. I said, because there's no reason for it to even be looking for it, since it's not going to be required to be turned on until next year.
And
So
I understand, Dre, but at the same time, like the issue that LDS is having, myself and somebody else, I mean, what the hell can we do then?
It's not that major. I mean, if not, at least not for me. It held me back a little bit, but once I got connection, it went away, and there was no issue. I was able to take off. It was just that little instant where I kept on getting a pop up, and I couldn't fly over a certain height.
Remember, LDS, your phone doesn't have great service everywhere you go. You see what I mean?
Stop that.
Like
shit.
everybody else. So
trying to be a
then
smart
what?
ass. I know. You being a smart ass, Adrian? You're trying to
No, I'm not being a smart. It's true.
pot shots at me.
I mean, Aldia, think about it. You got T-Mobile, which is the shittiest service in the world. I mean, shit.
I don't have T-Mobile, dude. I got Verizon.
I thought you did.
Oh man.
Who do you have? Verizon?
You're a fool, dude.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dre. No, he got Metro PCS. That's what he had.
Do those companies even exist anymore? No, I don't think so.
Man.
He got Metro piece of shit. That's what he had.
That's I'll put this out. I go back to the days of LA Cellular.
I do, Lon. I have it saved, and then I go in there on the save. You know, when you have your save connected links, and then I hit that, and it usually connects. But for some reason, that pop up
he probably got boozed on the now. Yeah, he got boozed. He got that prepaid service. That's what he had.
No, I go to 7-Eleven. I go get a Go card.
Oh man,
he got to reboot his phone every month and upload some money in it for him to use it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it saves you money.
Adrian, when are you gonna end this fucking show? I'm getting bored. I looked at the time. It's a minute. You've gone like a half hour.
Why are you doing like that?
How you doing, man? You doing all
right?
Why
you do my man like that?
Oh, I forgot that you can actually bring
Yeah.
them in. I'm sorry. They actually did it. I didn't
Yeah.
even do it. I was gonna leave you there.
Don't do my man like that.
I was gonna let you stay in there for another 3 minutes.
Nah, nah.
But Jeff brought you back in. That's your boy in it.
Mhm.
Nice.
White was saying that, yeah, you got it up there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can. It does have the Wi-Fi built in. You just have to have a connection.
Well, all controllers have Wi-Fi built in.
Yeah,
That's nothing
so
new for us to the
I don't think I
controller.
understand what Mark White is saying. Then
But like I said, for me, just like Al said, using my phone as a hotspot is just the normal thing for me, and that's because if I need to get link approval for something, or I need to make sure if I'm using my COA, I have to have an internet connection for my COA to work properly.
holy
So I
crap! So
Mark is
over
in
there by you,
Manchester. This
Mark.
guy's 3:35 a.m. Wow.
So
That's
Mark,
love. This guy
to
loves
you is
your,
what
your
is it
program.
Sunday or Monday over there?
Well, it's got to be Sunday
This guy's
morning. It's
Sunday. Yeah, yeah,
3:35 in the
Sunday.
morning.
He's in the
Yes.
future.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
Hotspot
like
off the cell. Yeah, Bob. That's what I
yeah,
do.
and that's just normal for me because of the activity that I'm always involved in. That's it's the routine for me to always turn it on. And also, like I was saying, because I use air data, also with all my flights, if I use Litchi, air data, that information automatically gets uploaded to air data if I'm hooked up to my hotspot. And if I use drone deploy, when I finish all my flights doing that, all I gotta do is hit sync right now, and all that information from my drone deploy flights go to my air data and so forth right away. So I don't have to worry about doing anything when I get home and go from there. So like I said, even while I'm flying with the regular DJI stuff, at the end of all my flights, end of the day when I'm flying, I hit the DJI flight record and go ahead and sync everything up. So it goes automatically to air data. So that's part of my routine.
Hey, Johnny Drone Fly.
So when it comes to the air data, Andre, it tells you all the info on the drone and the batteries, or only the batteries.
It tells you everything about that drone.
But
It'll tell you about the batteries, the drone itself. It'll tell you about the motors. It will tell you everything. It even tell you when you need to maintenance your stuff.
Tells you when you have deviation in cells.
like when you say
Right.
maintenance, like any kind of issue that needs to be fixed and addressed.
Right. It'll tell you when you have maintenance. Like I said, it said, well, you got so much time, like with the aircraft. When so much time goes by, it says, oh, this battery needs to be maintenance. That means you need to discharge that battery completely, recharge it back up completely, because it maybe have to start to build a resistance up. It says,
Okay.
oh, you need to do maintenance on your aircraft, which means could be simple as cleaning it. Okay, you've been flying so much, you need to do a cleaning of your aircraft, which means get out the can of spray or whatever, air spray, blow out the motors, blow out, anything else that might have built up around the camera, around the motors, so forth. Check your props, all that kind of thing. So it's always there monitoring how much flight time you put on the drone. If anything anomalies come up in your flight, far as connectivity, like we're just talking about earlier about people losing connection and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's why when people always get on these website groups and other Facebook groups and crying about how they lost connection with their drone, the number one thing people ask them, let's see the log. Because the log ain't gonna lie. And when we go on there and people start seeing, well, dude, you're out here 8,000, 9,000 feet, and you wonder why you lost connection. It's kind of self-explanatory. You were flying a drone beyond its capabilities, and you wonder why it took off on you, because you lost connection. It couldn't whatever you didn't have. It wasn't getting a strong enough signal to hit the return home process. I tell people, I said, you can have it set to return home, but if you're too far out there and that signal doesn't kick in, that drone's on its own.
So that air data even gives you that information that Mark White
Yes,
just said.
yes,
Holy
it will
cow!
get it. It'll tell you that, okay, it'll go for user green means you got a solid connection. And it'll go to different colors to where it go. I think it's purple is when you like
Oh, so
down to like one or less bars, which means
they
you're on the verge of losing connection.
they see Long came up with the same pop up on
He
his right
did?
now. Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the one that we have in long. That's the exact same one that we have in. Mine
Yeah.
stay on for about at least a good 2-3 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adrian, you can. I think there's 200 flights for free on Air Data, isn't it? And they usually have their sale going on. Like there's some code that you can get like pay like $10 a month or something for pro version or something.
Okay, Jim Droney.
Yeah, Johnny, I have a paid version of Air Data, and I think it's one of the best investments I've made on my drones altogether. Because for the amount of drones I have, there's just no way I would be very good at keeping a logbook on all the
Yeah.
drones that I have. And I say I can take different drones out within a week, where I'll fly a Phantom one day, M30T the next day, and I might fly a Mavic 2 Pro or maybe the Enterprise Advance. And like I say, depending on what's going on, I may forget what I need to write down or whatever. Air Data takes care of that for me. It's automatic. All
Yeah,
I
there's
gotta do is
I put the discount code in there for Air Data.
Let me
It's a
okay,
great thing
good.
to have.
Yeah,
If you want to sell your drone, it's got all the information on your drone, all the
yeah,
let,
the
let me
charges,
welcome
everything.
Hardcore Drone
Flights.
Production and
What's
Coast
up,
to
Art?
Coast Drones. Bill, thank you for
yeah.
popping in. Really appreciate it.
Bill, what's up? Hello, Bill. All
Yeah,
right,
so I
Adrian, I'm gonna
said,
get going, dude, because I gotta go make some black beans and Wonderware right now.
so yeah, Johnny. I think even if
All
you
right,
use the
Aldia, thank you for
free
popping in,
version,
buddy.
hey Al, you take care, man. Johnny, if you use the free version or whatever, dude, I think it's a good investment on your time and on your drone. Especially if you only got like one or two drones, the free version should cover it with no problem. Pretty easy to get through. Like me, I like I told a person the other day, just within the last year, I have taken close to 40,000 pictures with the work that I do. Somewhere over close to, I think it's almost close to 800-900 videos, something like that. So it's a lot of data, uh, you know, and like you say, Johnny, deleting flights, you had that option too. 'Cause like for me, if I'm just doing some testing at home to where I don't really go fly or something like that, I delete those flights. So I don't
Hey,
count against my account
how
and
you
stuff.
doing, Bill? Coast to Coast Drones, thank you for popping in. Hardcore Drone Production, thank you for popping in. Hey, this is a question from Jim Droney, Dre.
Yeah, Drake and you go to there. If you plug it into a phone, uh, basically, Jim, the way I do it, I'm not sure if the air data. Well, like I say, if you have everything on your DG, I'm going off what I'm thinking in my head right now. What's on my smart controller, and once you connect your account, your DJI account, into air data, every time you sync your flight information on your smart controller, regardless the RC, whatever Pro, RC, uh, smart controller, or even the ones on my RC Plus. Every time I sync my data on my smart controllers, because I have my account linked to Air Data, everything uploads to it automatically. And every month, Air Data is constantly upgrading its inventory. I mean, my M30T is recognized by it, and even down to my older drones, my Phantoms and Mavic 2 Pros. Everything I've owned from my Spark even is listed in Air Data.
I do want to welcome Omaha Air Drone Service. Did you see that question that he popped in, Dre?
Does Air Data work with you? Yes, it works with the smart controller. You don't have to worry about side loading onto the controller itself. All you gotta do is make sure when you get to Air Data that you put your account information into Air Data. So when you sync your flight record information on your smart controller, it automatically goes to air data. But you
Guys,
also got to make sure you have Wi-Fi connections and all that kind of stuff.
guys, do me a favor, ladies, smash that thumbs up on the stream. I appreciate it. That air data thing sounds pretty good, and I need to go ahead and I don't even know the last time I actually got into it, Dre. It's been a long time since I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I very rarely go in there to check out anything.
Well, the biggest thing is as long as you've been syncing your flights, uh, it's all there for you to look at. You know,
But
I'm
I would
looking at
like to look at any information about the batteries, you know what I mean, and all that good stuff.
right.
That's
Yeah, I
really
can say.
what I look at.
Yeah, I can say. Let me share this page of mine right quick.
Hey, Dre, I'm not even gonna tell you anything. Are you looking at the StreamYard and see anything? Do you see anything in there that
Let
needs to
me.
be stressed?
Oh yeah. Well, I see my buddy. Hang on a second here, dude. Let me share this for you right quick.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna let you bring him in so you have access to it.
All right. There you go.
How you doing, brother Tom?
Okay.
So
this is.
Your internet finally let you come on in, huh?
yeah, good old Cox cable over here. We had some local outage, so
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and
Good
for the
night.
guys,
Toys. Thank you for popping in, buddy.
yeah.
So Johnny,
You guys see now I have my page and my air data on here. Okay, it'll say active flights over 1,200. My plan I have supports up to 3,000 flights. It gives my total air time, 193 hours in the air, logged in just under 199. And it tells you all the stuff I've done, fastest speed. There you go, Adrian, fastest speed, 51.47. That's with the M30T and stuff. And right here it says total photos, 39,807. Total videos, 950. Total mileage, a little over 1,500 miles I put on. So, and then you talk about equipment. This is my list of batteries over here.
Yeah.
And that's all the batteries I have and stuff. So it covers the Phantom batteries, Mavic 2 Pro batteries, my M30T batteries. Let me see what else we got here. That's Mavic 2 there. Usually goes in order what I use most recently. And okay, that's more Mavic Pro.
Those are the batteries for the M30T, right?
Yeah, the ones I showed before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the M30T. Okay, that one right there just popped up. It'll tell you the last day was used, date it was purchased, date it was manufactured, the serial number on that battery, last flight, everything.
And,
So
and the green little thing, I mean, the battery is good, right?
Yeah, and I'll go back to usage. Okay, they'll tell me flight log on record 14, total battery charge is 6, total air time, maximum temperature, blah blah blah. Okay, they'll go back. You talking about maintenance? It tells me exactly what batteries are up for maintenance, and also what drones. Okay. Now this is what I was going to go back to. Let's pick up a flight I did today. And that's what I'm talking about, people not looking at their sensor. Let's go to sensors. You see that right there? You see that, Adrian?
Yeah.
And you see the different colors? That's during my flight. Now the green means I got solid connection. The orange means I'm losing connection. The purple is where I lost connection for a amount of time.
What about the red one or the orange one?
The red one means I'm out there in no man's land pretty much.
Okay.
that drone is flying on its own. So that's what I'm saying about.
So does that mean that you don't have any FPV either? The FPV is frozen?
When I got those red spots, I had nothing on the screen, dude.
Okay.
My satellite was shot. My controller, I say no bars on the for the RC, no bars for the screen. So I'm over here back at the H point, home point, sitting there doing a tap dance, trying to make sure, wiggle around whatever direction, hold the controller up, down, one hand, whatever the case is, to regain control.
Yeah.
Because if you keep flying so long without having proper connection, the drone could fly off.
Correct.
Or it could go, like it should do, go into return to home mode and come back. Either one
So,
is not.
question, Dre.
Yeah,
What level of service is this? Is this the pro version or
yeah. This is my pro version.
So Bob had a question. How much is that? So that's $15 a month, Bob.
Yeah.
That'll give you 3,000 flights, active flights.
Right.
That's the highest level, but it starts as a Frio account that will. Somebody was saying in the chat, I didn't see that they weren't getting. Oh, it was Jim's droning. Oh, he seems behind with flights. You're probably using the free version. So I know there's a quicker adjustment. Plus, you don't get any advertisements with the paid versions. I mean, the lowest paid version starts at like $299 a month, and you get 400 flights for that. Right. So I hope that answers your question, Bob.
Yeah. So like I said here, either thing that could happen is not good, because this is a autonomous flight, and if something happens where I got to return here, guess what? I got to refly this thing all over again.
Yeah.
It does not just say, hey, we're going to pick up right here. No, it's going to say we're going to pick up right here, and we got to finish this all over. So I got to make sure I can maintain connection. And
now,
that's
my question to you is, Dre, by looking at this air data image, the home point is literally right there. It doesn't see. It seems like that is a clear piece of property you're in. So why would you lose connection around that area? If there was nothing, you know what I mean, stopping, like no tall buildings or nothing like that, no trees or nothing.
Yeah, and the only thing I had here, Adrian, I had a small wall right here where my hand is going back and forth, and then there's another wall on this property now right here. Now
yeah, but the drone is high up in the air. Like
I know. I'm just letting you know. Anything that can block a signal, the signal is not always direct shot. It goes in a spread pattern. Okay, so I'm reducing the pattern. I move from right here down the street a little bit to right here. Now, also, you got to remember the distance I'm at. Okay, from this street to this street right here is a full half a mile. That's a half a mile stretch.
Okay.
So when I get down from where home point is, where I'm standing at, down over here, there's full houses that built here, and I'm flying down here. So now I'm flying over a half a mile.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sitting here, like I said, at certain points, I'm holding the controller like the Statue of Liberty sometimes, dude.
Yeah, you doing the Verizon guy. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Right.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? That's what I'm doing. Trying to maintain consistent enough connection for my drone. Because here, it'll tell you even more information, as you see here, the distances I was at. 3,000 some change, 3,000 some change there. When I went purple, 1,700 there, yada, yada, yada. And I say you go to purples, it tell you 0%, 0%, 0%.
Now, why if you had the wall, why couldn't you just come out of the wall? Is that what you had to do?
I did. I had to. I had to come from behind the wall to make sure. Because I say your signals don't just go straight up to the drone. It's a spread. Okay. So anything that reduces the amount of the signal, okay. Like I say, your signal is not just one little short beam directly at the drone. It's a spread pattern. So you got to make sure that you're trying to get as much of that spread pattern out to where the drone is at.
Okay. Jim Jordan, I believe, like Dre said, that you have to sync all your flights for you to get up to date one. Because you said the last one you had was November 1st, but you flew it more after that. You probably have to sync it on something of that nature. Am I right,
yeah.
Dre?
When you go into sync, most times I'll ask you, do you want the last 20 flights or whatever, 50 flights, or you want all your flights?
Right.
Sync. So it's up to you to
I
make
just sent
sure.
that to him. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's why I'm saying that if it's something you haven't flown in a while, you might want to have it sync all the flights that you've done. Period.
Yeah.
And
Try to
that's
refresh it. Yeah.
yeah,
And if you continue to have a problem, reach out to their support via the
yeah,
email,
yeah,
uh, and they can possibly push those records out.
yeah, and stuff. So that's why I tell folks, that's why I did a little short video earlier, and me and another gentleman were discussing. Oh, that's not the reason why people lose drones, because I said, dude, regardless of what you're doing, if you're doing risky behavior or you're doing like I'm doing, I'm out here doing a job, and like you say, Adrian, pretty much this is all flat terrain. It's been all graded for housing and stuff like that, so it's still flat. There's no structures being built yet. It is still flat, but because of the distance, curvature of the earth, time of day.
Atmospheric conditions,
Yes,
other electrical interference,
right,
even if it's momentary and localized, will push you around the channel band. It's one
right.
of the reasons why you see the higher end drones can automatically hunt
Hmm.
for channels and can use multiple channels.
Right.
But that's because, and if you watch that or watch it on spectrograph, you'll see that in auto mode, it's bouncing around all over the
Yes.
place. Okay.
Yeah.
So, it also, look, somebody said, well, with the Fly app, you lose connection, you're screwed. With the Go 4 app, it would just continue. Yeah, that was using waypoints and third party. But what about the M30T? The M30T continued its mission, correct?
I mean, all right, but hold on 1 second. On the same note, Tom, Andrea, or anybody in the chat, if you know what I'm about to ask you, to my understanding, Dre, like what you were doing, you were flying that mission,
Right.
and it showed where you lost connection and all that good stuff, the red, the purple, the
Mhm.
yellow, and the green. All right, so you weren't even a mile away. However, you did say that you have the wall that could probably, you know what I mean, mess with your signal. Actually, you said
Mhm.
2 walls.
Yes.
However, if, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Dre and Tom, if you loses connection according to my drones, it will return, it will do the RTH. You just give me a second, because I don't,
Okay.
maybe under the drone deploy it doesn't do that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Am I right that it will literally come back, or will it
Well,
continue doing that mission?
the fly. Okay, so remember now we got basically 3 versions out there.
Correct.
You have the old Go 4 app, which is barely supported. You have the Fly app. You have the Pilot app. Okay, they're different animals entirely.
I hear you.
And also, you have different drones across those different applications. And now, when you start to get into the commercial enterprise side of the fence, you start dealing with things like SDKs and APIs. I mean, with the enterprise version of Air Data, you have API access, so you can build in additional features
Mhm.
if you have the capability of doing that. Okay. Plus, it gives you some other things like live streaming is a big one, where you can
Right.
live stream directly out of Air Data. Now, Air Data is an industry standard application basically out there. It's leveraged all around the world. In fact, on the public safety side, you'll see more of drone sense being leveraged on the public safety side. Because continuity of communications, the ability for situational awareness, being able to share data quickly. But there's different levels there too. So in a situation on the commercial side, normally when you lay out a mission, and that's another feature of the enterprise version, you can do mission planning in Air Data also. But basically, when you lay out a mission, it'll fly that in the entirety of that mission. In fact, if it requires a battery change, it'll come back, and you hot swap out your battery, so you never lost really connection. Send it
Okay.
back up. She's going to pick up where she left off.
Right.
Those are efficiencies built into the commercial side of the fence, and that's those are some of the tools you're paying for.
Right, and the same thing with joint deployment. But I'm saying if you lose, right there, most drones, Adrian, almost all drones have the return to home
Yeah.
software in it, and I would say seven, I would say 6 to 7 times out of 10, it will kick in, but that doesn't happen till the drone loses connection for at least almost a minute
Yeah.
before it kicks in.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's threshold.
so like I say, what is your drone doing during that minute before it return to home may or may not kick in? Okay, some drones continue to fly. Okay, whatever last
Correct.
projector they were on, it continues to fly that directory. Okay, that direction. Some may hover. If you told it in for if it loses connection, want to hover. So all the different things come into play. Like Tom was saying before, your aspect fears come into play. Was it was it a disruption of GPS? That's what I'm saying. That's the most scariest thing is if you're out there flying and you got barely 11 satellites and you lose 2 or 3 of them, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because now you're down to about 8 or 9, and that's not a comfortable feeling you want to be in. And then you lost connection on top of that.
Yeah.
So now they're not saying how one thing kind of like can build upon another thing. So that's why I say that
It's
maintaining
also
connection.
right. It's also having the confidence in. When I say confidence, see, a lot of people make a mistake of you know what you're doing, you got this down pat, but confidence in knowing that you don't always remember everything and having a pre-flight so that you set those important. How many people, Adrian, are really checking their altitude settings in their return to home and basing it solely upon where they're actually flying from? How many people actually change that? How many people have it set to 390 feet? And when your battery is you're limping home on that last, you're pushing it at that last 11, 12% where you shouldn't have been below 25.
Yeah.
And you lose signal, and a minute later, now you've just hovered for 59 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, eating some more battery. Now she has to ascend to 394 feet. And what doesn't she do very well with the motors on? Descend quickly, right? Now, with the motor shut off, she'll come down a lot quicker.
Correct.
Okay. But, so these are the things that are missed and are missed quite frequently. How many people have actually, with obstacle avoidance, have made sure that they've looked through the menu on the advanced settings? What is it going to do? How is it going to fly back to you? Now, some of these drones are so damn smart. I mean, I got a video canned away that I won't put up publicly, because, I was flying along the East River one early morning, and I wound up being eclipsed by a series of high rises in Long Island City, and I lost connection. And, I waited and hoped that the drone would do what the engineers planned for it to do. I had already set my altitude properly. Now, the drone came back successfully. When I got home and watched the video, I almost shit myself. And I'm glad the Long Island City area of New York City, Queens specifically, is a very gentrified area now. So there's a lot of, I don't know, hipsters is the right word anymore. But luckily, this happened at 6 a.m. in the morning. So they weren't out on their balconies. They had just come out of the bars at 4:35 a.m. So they were all home sleeping. But it came right to the building, stopped about 8 feet away, looked right, looked left, ascended up, came across the rooftop, saw some antennas, luckily, stopped again, raised up a little more, and then came home. And I would say it was a minute and a half to, about a minute 45, where then I regained my video. And once I regained my video, I knew I had control over the bird also.
Yeah.
But luckily, I had set the appropriate altitude. Okay? I don't waste altitude. Like if I'm out here flying, if I'm in the desert, then man, I'm setting my return to home altitude at about $1.25 to $1.50 because I got nothing around me if I'm in a dry lake bed.
Right.
But if I'm along the mountains, man, I'm giving myself as much room as I can. So you just got to plan for it, though.
Yeah.
That's the key. You got to plan for it.
And Tom brought up a very good question about how people rely upon the return to home. Like you said, you're using battery power to ascend to that height.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you're close to that low battery level, you're not going to make it home. But what's going to happen is that when you finally see that bird start coming home, it's going to be an auto land mode because now it's getting down and that bird's coming out and you're sitting there pushing that stick up and you're like, what's going on? You're fighting it.
Correct. It didn't help me in this valley area of Red Rock Canyon. And this was with the old Mavic Pro, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where I finally could see it, okay? And it started landing, and it was out there in front of me. And it landed a quarter mile away. So, that wasn't too bad, right? Except I had to go down the sidewall of a cliff about 650 feet. And then go the quarter mile, then come back and ascend the 650 feet. Okay? Yep. So those are the things you want to try to avoid. And these days, believe me, somebody asked me, flying my Avata along the mountain ridges and all, what happens if it crashes? Are you going to do a Billy Kyle? No. No, it just became a prize for a hiker. Okay? And luckily, they'll see the reward if found sticker on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so before we actually go and call it quit for the evening, Tom, Jim's Jordan actually said that he did went ahead and refresh it and is still not uploading his recent.
Yeah, I would reach out to them.
However, he might have the free version, so he can still reach out and ask
you
for
can
help.
you can send an email to them. But the thing is that you have to remember with this free version. They don't archive your flights for more than 6 months. Mm-hmm. And remember, they're under no obligation to do so because you got the free version. Okay? But I would reach out to them as soon as possible because you want to stay within, as early within that window as possible.
Okay, good night, Chris Wedgwood. I'll see you later, buddy. Thank you for popping in.
Take care, Chris.
Well,
hey, Dre, before you leave, Adrian.
Yes.
Dre, you're going to be out here, huh? Man,
yeah. My wife and I have some friends who are visiting out from Louisiana, and they're all their kids they're in Henderson. So we're gonna go ahead and get the already got the timeshare booked. I'll be at the Wyndham Resort there on Tropicana, just about a block north of the Orleans and stuff. I'll be there between the 22nd. And no, I'm from the 19th to the 22nd. So about 4 days I'll be there.
Okay, let me know what your schedule is across that time. Just DM me.
Okay.
And, we'll try to get together.
Okay. Yeah, I know Bob's going to be kind of tied up. That's the hot spot of his season.
Santa?
Yeah.
Santa Gnome?
Yeah.
He's a Santa Gnome.
Where you going to go
Las
to,
Vegas.
Andre?
Vegas.
Vegas, baby. Vegas,
okay.
baby.
Yeah, we got some friends from Louisiana that are visiting their kids up there. So my wife said that she wants to go up there for a few days. So
are you looking to bring a toy with you, or?
Yeah, I'll probably bring one of the Mavic 2s out, and let it stretch his legs a little bit. And,
if you want to take the run, into Red Rock, we can do that, bro.
Okay, we'll see what's up. I know we're not going to spend all 4 days with them. So my wife probably have to exercise her right arm quite a bit or something, or her right finger. So I know if I give her enough money, we might have about an hour or two to kill.
Okay. Yeah.
Stuff.
There's Red Rock. Look, there's Red Rock Casino up there, bro. So you know what we can do? We can drop the brides off at Red Rock Casino, then jump in one vehicle, the truck.
Yeah.
And head in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe we can pull that off. We'll see.
That might just work. That might just
let me
work.
know. I got it. Look, I don't have a schedule. We have routines. We don't have schedules.
Right.
But holy shit, in retirement, dude, my fucking calendar is inked up like there's no tomorrow. So, okay.
Everybody's trying to get some of that time. That's all.
Yeah,
everybody
just let me know, man.
Time. All right.
Yeah, well, Vegas happens to be a destination spot. So, Adrian, remember, you're coming out to Vegas, man. It's not just about the slots.
Great.
Right.
Okay, don't forget Tom. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So,
it's been a great show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Any final words, Andre?
I will be on the Drone Seekers show tomorrow. I know it's 12 noon on the West Coast, so I guess that'll make it around 3 o'clock East Coast time. They usually come on. They're a group out of Europe. I know some of them are in Spain, some of them are in the UK. So I've been invited to come on tomorrow. So if you guys have nothing better to do, go ahead and pop in and show some support. I appreciate it.
What about you, Tom? Any last words, sir?
just everybody have a great holiday season. Okay, enjoy yourselves. Safe flights out there. There's always another day to fly tomorrow. Got to
Mm-hmm.
get the
Yes,
bird
sir.
back first, though.
Yep.
And when it comes to me, thanks for all you do. Keep on flying. God bless and stay safe. See you all later. Thank you for being here.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, all.